my name is Amanda Barney, and I traveled to the Dominican Republic in 2008. When I first heard about the International Student Volunteers, I was a student at Texas State University. I was also an international relations student, so it was important for me to actually have a chance to travel outside the United States for the first time. The thing that was daunting, though, when I first looked at ISV was the fact that I had to raise a lot of money to go on the trip. I had paid up to that point for my college through a lot of financial aid, a lot of loans, and I worked a lot of jobs. So I had to find another way to get the money that I needed. What ISV offered me was a chance to find a courage within myself that I'd never had before. I was able to break out of my proverbial shell because I saw this challenge that I had to conquer, and I was willing to do it because the adventure was just too much to pass up. So what I did was, with the help of the ISV staff, is I was able to formulate a letter that spoke to other people that would potentially be sponsors about the importance of what I would be doing in the Dominican Republic. It was really important to me to be able to step out and talk to them and tell them what my dream was, the dream to travel, to learn about other countries, and to be a part of something that to me was that important. So what I did was I made my dream their dream. I told them about how their money would benefit these other people and benefit this program that I was going to be taking part of. So in that, I had to be courageous and step out and try something that I'd never done before. It was a really big step for me. Then after that, it carried on into the Dominican Republic, because once I arrived there, I saw that that courage had to continue. I had to be willing to open up and learn about the people that I was with. I had to learn about their culture, and I had to open my heart and open my mind and open my eyes to see everything that was important to them and to understand what I was doing there and how I could really help them. That was really a big thing that ISV did for me, was to give me that courage to try something new, to step out, try an adventure that to me was amazing and was really beneficial. Another thing that ISV did for me was give me hope for the future. I, up to that point, had never seen how much an impact one person could make in the lives of other people. It was one small area of the world and one project that I really worked on, but it was so big to the people that it impacted. It was huge, and I saw that in the future I could continue to bring hope like that through service to other people. So that carries on into another thing that ISV did for me. They taught me what kind of job I would like to have. And I knew after I got back and was able to share my experience with my family and friends and the sponsors that had helped me, and I showed them what we had done and how important it was and how amazing it was, and shared the culture with them, I actually learned that I really did want to travel and continue serving other people. And what I would like to do is be a part of a community like I was there, and see that what I'm doing is benefiting a lot of people. So those were the three things that ISV and traveling to the Dominican Republic really did for me. They brought me courage to open up and to try new things, to experience a whole new style of life. It also gave me hope for the future, to know that one person can make a difference. And then it also caused me to know exactly where I wanted to work for the rest of my life. So in answer to the second question, when we got there, I didn't exactly know what we would be doing at first, but once I arrived in the small town in which we were staying at the time, I saw the project, the big project that we were taking part of. And what it was a sidewalk from the local city to a small school. This sidewalk traversed the side of a very windy road where cars would often drive too fast and put children's lives in danger. Education is really important to me. I always knew that it was the key to my future was to get a solid, good education. So by building this sidewalk, we actually allowed these children to travel from their local hometown to this school. And in a sense, we actually, as cliche as it might sound, helped them find a road to their future. It was so important to me, too, to see that we were like a puzzle piece. We had built this part of the sidewalk that had been added onto a portion that other people had built before us, and other people had built before. And then other people would add on to what we did. And when I went back and looked at pictures this last year of the sidewalk, I saw how far all of us had gotten together. And it was like being a part of a bigger community, because it wasn't just one person, but all together we made this huge impact on this little village. And every day people would come out and they'd bring us free sodas, and they would grab up tools beside us, and they would give us hugs, and they would work with us, because to them they knew how important it was. And that just really impacted us to know that what we were doing was making a difference in their lives. The other thing that we did while we were there was we helped to run a small summer camp for the local children. It was important to the children because they didn't have a lot of activities that they could do that were safe and really fun and educational as well. So our team would stay up late at night, which caused us to bond as well, very strongly. We'd stay up late coming up with activities and games that they could do together with us. And in that, the children really taught us to be free and to really enjoy what they like to do, but also to teach them new games and new things. It was almost like a meshing of two cultures. So I really felt like they learned a lot about us, but we learned so much more about them. Then it really brought us all together. The third thing, in answer to the third question, when I looked at ISV, I saw three things that were really well done about the program that meant a lot to me. Three main things. There were a lot of things, but these were the three that stood out above the rest. The first is that ISV is so well set up, and the staff are so friendly, that there was never a moment when I didn't feel safe. From the moment we got there until the day we left, we were constantly debriefed about what we were going to be doing. Our hotel stays or other accommodations were completely set up. Our meals were planned. There was never any moment when I felt that I was in the dark about what was happening. I traveled to Europe a couple years ago, and I planned the trip myself. And what I learned is that it takes a lot of work to plan that much of a trip. And ISV did it without flaws. There were no hiccups, no hitches along the way. It was so smooth. And it really helped us to move completely into their culture and be a part of the culture we were experiencing. The other thing that was important was the fact that ISV allowed us to go a week early before our actual program began. And for those of us who went, we were able to experience the local nightlife. We were able to see the people in a different way and become a part of them. We stayed with host families that loved us and took care of us and tried to teach us about who they were, and that gave us even more of a sense of being a part of their culture. The third thing that I think is really good about ISV is I think they have a philosophy that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. We've all heard that before, but they really put it into practice. First of all, we worked really hard for 2 weeks, and we worked hard. We sweated every day out there in the hot summer, but at the end of it, ISV allowed us to travel the country for 2 weeks doing crazy, amazing adventures like surfing and windsurfing and waterfall rappelling and cave diving, things I'd never done before that I was really excited to do. So for every minute that we worked, we had an equal amount of solid adventure that was just thrilling throughout the whole country. So, to move on and answer to the fourth question, when I began working, I was 17 years old. I had my first actually paid job. And from that moment on, I began to develop what I thought was important to me, the things that I knew I wanted in a job. So I have developed three things that I know that I want in my job. The first being that I want to get up every morning and love what I do. And I want to love what I do because I believe in it. Right now I'm a park ranger, and I get up every morning and I'm ecstatic to go to work. And the reason I'm excited to go to work is I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in the children that we're helping, the park patrons that learn from us about the land. We're land managers. We interact with the community, and we're a part of that. We are in uniform, and so people are comfortable with our uniform because of the fact that we're so kind in general to a lot of people who come through. That's important to me, that I love what I do, and I do. The other thing that's very important to me is that I be able to move. I worked at a desk job for a while, and when I was done with that job, it really became clear to me that what I love to be doing is constantly on the go. I like to be able to move and talk to people and be a part of the community in which I live. I really want to be a part of the hustle and bustle of things and talk to people and show them that I'm enthusiastic about life. I want that to be a part of what I do. The last thing, and probably the most important thing to me, is that whatever I do is in service to other people. I want to know that when I wake up in the morning and go to work, that what I'm doing is giving something to others and that they're benefiting. And through ISV, the people who helped me to realize the dream of going, they helped me so much because they got me out of my comfort zone. They got me to experience another culture, which was what I needed for my degree program. So I think that that's very fulfilling for them to see me be able to go to another country and have that real amazing experience. In answer to the fifth question, and the most important question is, how do I know I'm doing a good job? I've worked at a Bright Beginnings, which was a children's retail store, and also I worked as a tutor at the Student Learning Assistance Center at Texas State University. Both those jobs taught me one really important thing about doing a good job. When I was at Bright Beginnings, I remember a customer coming in and asking me about a pair of shorts and a shirt and whether they matched. And I told her the truth, that I didn't think they looked good together. She believed and told me that she appreciated the fact that I was more willing to help her find what she needed than I was to make a sale. And because of that, she trusted me, and she kept coming back for my service to ask for my help. As a tutor at Texas State University, when I would have a student come to me for help, and I would aid them, and then they would go, and then they would come back to me and show me this new fantastic grade that they had been able to get, they told me that they would continue to come back for my services because they believed that what I was doing was beneficial to them. I know that I'm doing a good job when people trust me enough to continue coming back to me for help. They come back to me for my services because they trust that, and they know that what I'm doing is desiring to give them the best service that I can, so that they want to come back and receive that service. I believe that ISV, a job with ISV, actually encompasses all those things that I've been looking for and have been studying for, and up to this point would really love to be a part of, which is being part of a community that really encourages people to follow their dreams and have an amazing adventure. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation.